Welcome to our COTA race review, aka Circuit of the Americas. We just call it COTA because it's shorter and it comes off the tongue. Much better than
saying Circuit of the Americas. Mike Joy last year in the Fox broadcast last year.
Stumbled over because it was more of a tongue twister.
Yeah. Today's race, absolute mayhem, but I do think it was probably one of the best races of the year so far, and will definitely contend, I think, as the season goes on, for probably best races of the year, for sure.
Yeah, the main spotlight was on
Tyler Reddick and
I wasn't really want to say Tyler Reddick and William Byron. Jordan Taylor is what I think the spotlight was mainly on because it's an IMSA driver. He has experience on COTA, but he just wasn't there because he wasn't used to driving a NASCAR stock car, and he is probably used to the sequential gear shift, so he basically sat around mid-pack majority of the race, just feeling out the car to get used to it, and to get used to what the other Cup regulars do. So, but the race was good. The most intense out of the entire weekend.
For sure. Every restart was wild. Even the initial, well, not the initial start, but just like even when we had that little long stretch of green flag laps, it was still pretty intense. Good battles all around.
Even
basically the whole track. When the field was spread out, I think NASCAR put on a pretty good show this weekend at COTA for sure.
Yeah, and I think the drivers like what the format is for this race because they didn't have to worry about stopping after lap 15 for stages, and that they could just continue going and just do this more of a race strategy than trying to have strategy for the stages. It's like, when fans were saying, get rid of stage cautions. Well, NASCAR decided to do it on road courses because the race strategy gets screwed up.
Yeah.
If there is stage breaks.
Almost, it just about makes me, excited for, even the next road course race, I believe is Sonoma, off the top of my head, in June.
To end Fox's side of the season.
I think COTA this weekend was a pretty good success. We had a good winner today, Tyler Reddick. He and William Byron both dominated today, and
Tyler Reddick was the main driver that dominated. Byron was there, just wasn't on Reddick's strength.
Yeah, and the pit strategy there towards the end kind of got crazy. Some drivers are talking about being short on fuel.
It was clear that Reddick was a lap short. We really didn't know about how many laps short Byron was, and even Alex Bowman, because Bowman was the one sitting in fourth, because he was mainly in the capwood. See if this race finished under green in regulation, and Reddick, Byron, and Chastain all wrecked, Bowman would have stole it.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I felt like Alex Bowman winning today's race was kind of a stretch, but he had a shot there at the end.
Yeah.
He had a shot there at the end with having a good restart when he did choose, I believe, the inside line at one point. even with Chastain crawling up his rear end there. And
the last restart, because this race did go into 3 overtimes. Bowman was sitting in third. The main question is, what was Kyle Busch going to do? Was Kyle Busch going to go in third and try to get the jump on Reddick going into 1? Or go to be up on the front row, and where would Bowman go for that one? But Kyle Busch stayed behind Reddick. Bowman jumped up to second on the restart. But there was contact on that last lap. Slight contact between Kyle Busch and Bowman, but Bowman still came out in second. But there was more contact, so Bowman basically was probably going to be the driver that could possibly get around Reddick, but just didn't happen. But came out third. So good points for Bowman. Mainly ran in the top 10. The main thing is Bowman got the last lap because he finished 1 spot better than Chastain than last year. Even though Bowman really wanted that win to show in Chastain's face for knocking out Allmendinger into him. So Chastain finds him back on top of points. Bowman puts himself in 16th in points as of right now. Wednesday is Hendrick Motorsports' appeal on the confiscating of the louvers of modifying them. So hopefully, if Hendrick does win this, Chastain will not be sitting in that number 1 spot in points for very long. If all 4 Hendrick drivers gets 100 points back, except for the 9 team, they will just get 100 points back added to the owner's side until Chase comes back. Nice to see Chase on the broadcast today. So, Emil was talking about William Byron, but I think at the end he was probably going for Bowman to try to win this thing and put the bow ties back on top after last week. So, but there could have been a chance that there was in-team rivalry again. Not like last season where it went from Penske to Hendrick in the first 2 weeks. But
Ross Chastain putting Bowman into Daniel Suarez and kind of screwing Daniel Suarez out of a good finishing position. I had Daniel Suarez as one of my fantasy picks for this week, for those that play NASCAR Fantasy. That kind of screwed me in points today, I'm pretty sure. Whenever those points update.
There was the one restart where Suarez got into Chastain and put Chastain to Bowman. But I didn't know what that was for. I think Suarez was mad at Bowman for getting into him, but didn't know that Chastain
was the one who caused it.
But yeah, Daniel and Chastain had an interesting talk on pit road. So, ratings wise, I kind of want to put this on. I want to put this on out of 10 because it was like the most intense. No stage breaks to screw up the race strategy. I like to see it like the old template back, even though there's still stage points being awarded.
Right.
Now after this experiment, maybe NASCAR group up and talking is like, okay, do we just want to get rid of stage cautions, period, but still award the stage points, and just have the race go green? And until there's like a necessary caution. I think it would be interesting, and I would like to see like the old long green flag runs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I think that would bring most of the NASCAR fans that like that kind of racing before the stage racing and the stage caution breaks. That would bring them back in.
I think for my ratings, I'll go ahead and give this race a 9.9 out of 10. I think one of the very, very small detail I'm going to leave and kind of put this out there that keeps me from putting it at a full 10 is I feel like NASCAR was a little slow getting onto the caution button. I know drivers have, what is it, like
2 minutes to get
to get their cars back going, but I did kind of feel like there were some instances where it should have brought out, an instant yellow, and just NASCAR wasn't on it, I feel like. But that's the only complaint, really, for me today.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, like, where there's, like, debris. That's, like, the main thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, there was the one pileup in turn 1. That one should have been immediate yellow because all the shrapnel that's coming off the cars.
Yeah, someone's
like,
got to run over that shrapnel and either, destroy the front end of their cars or, pop a tire,
Yeah. So that's our race review. Preview for the next race we will do on Tuesday and do those picks. Plus we have a good 5 race April
coming up. Yep.
Weekends.
We go to 3 short tracks in a row: Richmond, Bristol Dirt
on
Easter, and Martinsville, which all should be very interesting. Hopefully NASCAR fixed there's short track issues from last year into this year.
I think it would improve because they did take like 3 sections in the middle of the diffuser out and another part further up in the front to improve that racing. Plus, who knows, we're going to have weather tires at the track too,
yep.
At short tracks, except for Bristol because they have special tires for the dirt race.
Yep.
So, those are the upcoming races. We will do the preview for Richmond and do the picks on Tuesday.
Yep.
See you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the COTA race. We'll see you Tuesday with our preview of what to expect at Richmond and our picks.
See you.